Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nandi. So as you can see by the title, in today's video, we are going to be talking about how to not take things personally. And for me, this has been literally like a constant fight. This is something I started working on last year. And even now, I'm still like reminding myself in my head constantly, like everything is not about you. So I just figured I would share some tips that will help you guys to not take things personally. I am going to be working with notes today, and I also have my iPad. So if you see me looking all over the place, then you know. So let us get started with some tips. Okay, so the first tip I have here is to consider the source. And this goes with anything that has to do with gossiping, right? So if someone is gossiping about you, or spreading rumors about you, or you hear something that someone might have said about you, consider the source. And I say this because people are shady and people are liars. And this comes from hearing things from anyone. Always consider the source. People are just messy. I mean, people love entertainment, people love drama, people love mess. So people are messy. And so definitely always take that into account when you hear something, especially when you already know that it's not true. Or if you hear something about someone else, you have an inkling that it's not true. Definitely just take things with a grain of salt and consider the source, because people love drama. And, 9 times out of 10, that is always a reflection of them. So consider the source, tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to question your beliefs. Now, I say this because there is Albert Ellis, who is the father of rational emotional behavior therapy, argues that a person is not affected emotionally by what happens around them, but by their interpretation of what happened. In turn, our interpretations are formed by our beliefs. So, for example, if you hold the door open for someone, right, you expect them to say thank you, or you believe that they should say thank you. Now, that is because when you have had the door open for you, you have said thank you, or when you didn't say thank you, someone reinforced you and said, you should say thank you when someone opens the door. So now it is a belief of yours that if someone holds the door open for you, you should say thank you. And if you hold the door open for someone else, then they should also say thank you. That is not a fact though. So just because it is a belief of yours, so if you hold the door open for someone and someone walks through, no words, then you're like, excuse me, like, you're welcome, and so now you've taken it personally. Now you have just a couple of minutes of a bad mood, or it puts a bad taste in your mouth, or it just leaves you like, what the hell, That is because that is what you expect to happen. That is your own belief. So question your beliefs. And I also have expectations, because just because you expect something to happen, which I say countless times, does not mean that that is what has to happen. So if we are able to keep our expectations and our beliefs in check as to just in terms of what is actually ours alone and what is actually fact. We all grow up differently. We all grow up in different households. So things that may hold true for you may not necessarily hold true in other households. So keep that in mind. Okay, another tip to stop taking things personally is to recognize the spotlight effect. And this means that recognize when you think that everything is about you. Anything that happens, if you are the type of person where anything that happens or anything that's being said is about you, you may have the spotlight effect, okay? So let's say, for example, you come in the room. Okay, this may be a bad example. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna work through it, okay? So let's say you come into the room and people are talking. And then when you come in, people are quiet. Now, two things can be true. They can either be talking about you, which is probably what you're going to first jump to, or they can literally just be done with their conversation. So the spotlight effect is where instead of thinking that, oh, they might be just finished talking, you just equate it automatically with, these people are talking about me. You think that you're being judged. You think that you are being criticized, when they could literally just be done talking. So, definitely be wary. Or even if, if you're in a room, someone's whispering about something to another person, if you feel like, oh, they're talking about me or they're saying something about me, you might have the spotlight effect, okay? And that might just be messing with your mental. So definitely recognize when it is the spotlight effect and when it is something that is genuinely happening. The fourth tip to not take things personally is to build up your confidence. And I think I'm going to do a separate video on this because this one is there are just so many different levels to confidence, and there are so many different scenarios where this comes into play. So I think I'm just going to do a completely separate video on confidence. But, generally the basis is that if you are comfortable in yourself and confident in who you are, then naturally you won't care as much, because I think that we all care a little bit about what people think about us. But if you have enough confidence built up, then you might not care about what people think as much. And so that can help you. And the fifth tip to not take things personally is to not give away your power. And I mentioned this in my stress video. Don't give away your power, okay? You are in control. You are in control of your emotions, of your feelings. I have a quote that I want to read, and it is from The 4 Agreements. It is The 4 Agreements, A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom by Don Ruiz. And in the book, he says, the second agreement is don't take anything personally. And he says, even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements they have in their own minds. Taking things personally makes you easy prey for these predators, the black magicians. They can hook you easily with one little opinion and feed you whatever poison they want. And because you take it personally, you eat it up. So if you want to get that book, I highly recommend it. Obviously, I definitely have it on my bookshelf. Actually, I don't have it anymore because I gave it to someone to loan and never got it back. So, but I have read it before. And that also goes along with considering the source, like he said, if someone feeds you poison and you're just eating it up, all these things play a role. So don't give away your power. Okay. Don't allow people to feed you things and you believe it. And this also, goes along with confidence. All these things are hand in hand. If you know who you are, then no one can tell you otherwise. That is the end of this video, you guys. I hope that you found some little gems that you can take away. Please be sure to like, comment, share this video, please. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you guys ever want to have a conversation in the comments, I am free. We can do that or whatever. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. It really means a lot. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.